It's raining outside. That could only mean one thing. It's time for a beer. Clemens Homebrew coming at you with a beer review. It's a wet day in the Northwest. What better to do than to have a beer? I'm going to be going out and meeting a buddy about 2 more hours to have a beer, but that leaves plenty of time to have a beer review, right? So what have we got today? We've got one from a brewery I haven't done a beer from in a long time. I usually go with their deep dark beers, but it's from Clown Shoes. That's right, Clown Shoes, out of Ipswitch, Massachusetts. That's right, they brew through Mercury Brewing, and this is the Whammy Bar 2. Gotta love that name. There was an original Whammy Bar, as I understand. This is an American IPA, 6.5% ABV. I can't wait to try it, so let's get her open. Man, I popped the top and I could already smell it. That's a great sign. Well, this was actually bottled in October of 2016, so not exactly fresh. This is now April the 11th of 2017, so we'll see what we get here. We're gonna get the nose. Wow, okay, you still get some good hints of aroma on there. You get some citrus right away. I get some nice orange on there, like a pithy orange. I get a little bit of a grapefruit, more like the grapefruit rind. I get some neat sweet malts coming off it. Maybe almost felt like a little bit of honey malt. And I get some tropical going on there. It's like I got a little bit of a pineapple. I got some bitterness, some grassiness, like some kind of interesting esters too. But it was like a nice grassiness, pine, a little bit of an earthy scent going on. I want to say a little bit of like a pineapple and mango going on. Ooh, it does smell good though. But it's a lot of interesting aromas coming off it, and that's pretty good for a beer that's been around for several months. I did look this up. It's now a year-round offering. It's been available since mid-2016, and they dry hopped it with Galaxy, Ella, Mosaic, and Columbus. Been a long time since I've looked up Ella. I don't quite remember what all that brings to the beer, but we're gonna go ahead and jump in. So cheers. Amazing how good this tastes for not being a fresh IPA. It really is. It's a fun malt bill. It tastes much lighter than a 6.5% ABV though, let me tell you. It's not super bright and flavorful. It's gonna be a little tough for those people that have gotten addicted, yes, addicted, to the New England IPAs. This is more of a classic American IPA. There's a moderately high amount of hops to it. It's not over bitter, but it's there. It's a nice base. There's a good sweetness to it, although it's not super sweet. It's enough to carry the beer through. Now this just came into our market in Oregon, so it's kind of disappointing that Clown Shoes did bring something fresh into our market since the first time coming here. Shame on you. Yeah, you're gonna come into our market, bring something fresh so you get our attention. You get some of the characteristics of the Mosaic hops on there. Also, it's interesting that they use Columbus in a dry hopping, because Columbus brings on a little more of that bitterness, a lot of earthy tones to it. Doesn't really lend itself to being a West Coast IPA, which is what they were going for. You generally want to get those bigger, classy, juicy type characteristics. There's a lot of earthiness going on in this, very grassy, mostly fresh cut grass, but there's a little bit of dry grass too. A little bit funky. There's a lot of pine and resin going on in this, and they're quite strong in the taste. They overtake a lot of the fruity type aspects, like the citrus and the tropical type tastes in the beer. You do get some other things though, a little bit of like some stone fruit characteristics going on. I want to say maybe like an apricot a little bit, and maybe a hint of some pear on there as well. The citrus in it, along with the bitterness, really is kind of a pithy, slightly pithy type taste, so like a pithy orange. And then, like I said, kind of a grapefruit rind on there. All right, I poured out the bottom, I shook it up. Man, it just put a lot of stuff in there, a lot of yeasty ester stuff. So let's see how this has changed. Wow, now I do dig on doing that. It kind of smoothed the beer out, gave it a little bit more creamy texture, a little bit more of the fruit aspect going on, but a lot of esters going on here now. It gives it a little bit more of that Orange Julius type twist for people that are familiar with that. I know, having originally grown up in Southern California and going out on the Balboa Island and getting those. So that's a really welcome taste. I do dig on that a good bit. So it's a fun beer. I'm not going to say it's a remarkable beer. I do think that Clown Shoes is better known for their barrel-aged beers, their dark beers. In terms of American IPA, it's interesting. A lot of bitter, a lot of interesting stuff going on. People that like a particularly more bitter beer are going to really dig on this. But it still has, like I say, some of those fruit qualities. The citrus really picked up on it when I poured in the bottom of the can. But as far as American IPAs go, you know, it's not going to be a real high ranker with me. I'm going to give this an 85, just that straight B-type classification. It's fun. I would enjoy it. If someone offered to me, I would certainly have it. Overall, because it's lower in sweetness, and I have my sweet tooth, I've got to rank it a little bit lower again. I'm going to drop down to an 83. But if you like higher bitterness in a beer, then you'd probably dig on it. And of course, if you can get it fresh, I'd love to hear what you think about it. Here it is again. It's from Clown Shoes. It's the Whammy Bar number 2. It's an American IPA. This is Kevin at Clemens Homebrew saying life's too short to drink cheap beer. And I'll see you in the next beer review.